Have you ever noticed how heavy the silence becomes in the exact moment you realize you have been overlooked? You poured your energy, your time, and your quiet devotion into something, trusting that your effort would eventually be seen. You waited patiently for the moment the door would finally open for you. And then, it does open. But another person walks through it. Another name is called. Another person is chosen. If you have ever felt this specific kind of invisible ache, this is for you. In that sudden moment, a coldness settles in your chest. It is not simply the disappointment of missing a goal. It is a profound, exhausting feeling of being unseen. You did the work. You made the sacrifices. You followed the rules. Yet, the reward you felt you earned was handed to someone else. Almost immediately, the mind begins to spin. You replay your actions, questioning your value, wondering where you fell short. You look at the person who received what you wanted, and without even meaning to, you begin to feel smaller. Their gain suddenly feels like your profound loss. But here is the truth few people want to face. Most of your suffering in this moment is not caused by the fact that you did not get the opportunity. It is caused by how tightly you attached your sense of self to the outcome. Buddhist wisdom teaches us that the root of our deepest pain is attachment. We do not just attach ourselves to people or physical objects, we attach ourselves to expectations. We create a silent contract with the universe in our minds. We say, if I work this hard, I must be rewarded exactly like this. But the universe does not operate on our personal schedules. When we demand that life pays us back exactly how and when we want it to, we are trying to control the wind. And the harder you try to hold the wind, the more exhausted you become. Imagine a great tree standing deep within an ancient forest. For years it draws water from the earth, survives bitter winters, and pushes its branches toward the sun. Eventually, it blooms, revealing brilliant, fragrant flowers. But what if no one ever walks past to witness it? Does the tree suddenly believe its blossoms are worthless? Does it wither in shame because it was not applauded by the forest? No. The tree does not grow for the validation of the woods. It grows because growth is its very nature. It stands firm in its own silent dignity. Yet, in our daily lives, we often act as though we are growing strictly for the applause. We grind away at our jobs, we sacrifice our inner peace, and we carry the immense weight of expectation, quietly keeping score. When the promotion, the praise, or the opportunity goes to someone else, our peace shatters. We mistakenly believe that if they are standing in the light, we must have been pushed into the dark. Ask yourself this: why does someone else's step forward feel like your step backward? What are you truly grieving? Is it just the lost opportunity, or is it the fear that your worth has been permanently denied? Pause, breathe, observe this heavy thought without following it down into the dark. Let the feeling of disappointment rise, but do not make it your home. It is entirely natural to feel hurt when your effort goes unnoticed, but you must not let the blindness of others define your vision of yourself. Do not abandon your own value simply because a single door remained closed. Because true peace is not found in controlling how the world rewards you. It is found in understanding that your worth was never waiting on the other side of that door in the first place. But releasing our grip on the outcomes we desperately wanted is only the first step. The real challenge comes when we face the expectations we built in our own minds. And this is where the next truth begins. 2. The illusion of expected rewards. What if the heaviest burden you carry is not the work itself, but the invisible scale you carry with it? We are taught from a very young age that life is a simple transaction. You put in the effort, and you receive the prize. You do the right thing, and the right thing happens to you. We carry this belief into our adult lives, acting as quiet accountants of our own effort. We stay late, we sacrifice our weekends, we put our heads down, and we quietly keep score. We build a massive tower of expected rewards in our minds, but when that expectation shatters, when the recognition does not come, or the promotion is withheld, we feel more than just disappointment. We feel cheated. We feel as though the universe has broken a promise it never actually made. Buddhist wisdom teaches us that this transactional mindset is a profound source of suffering. In Buddhist thought, there is a deep understanding of cause and effect, of karma, but there is also a strict warning against clinging to the fruit of your actions. When your entire motivation is tethered to the outcome, you are no longer rooted in the present moment. You become a prisoner of the future. You become a beggar waiting at the door of tomorrow, hoping life will drop a coin into your cup. Imagine a farmer walking into a vast, empty field. He plows the earth. He carefully places the seeds. He carries water under the hot sun. He has done everything perfectly. But he cannot control the rain. He cannot command the clouds to open, nor can he pull the sprout from the dirt by force. If he stands in the field, staring at the soil and screaming for his harvest because he worked so hard, he does not speed up the growth. He only destroys his own peace. He must tend to the soil, and then he must step back. In the modern world, your effort is the seed. Your workplace, your relationships, your chosen path. These are the fields. You can plant the seed of hard work, but you cannot control the weather. Human systems are profoundly imperfect. People have biases. Timing is unpredictable. Opportunities are subjective. When you tie your ultimate self-worth to the exact moment a flawed system decides to reward you, you hand over the keys to your own mind. You are letting someone else's weather dictate whether you feel worthy or worthless. Think about your own life. What are you still keeping score of? Are you doing your work because it aligns with your internal values? Or are you secretly performing for an audience of judges? What happens to your spirit when the applause is delayed? Pause, breathe, observe the difference between doing good work and demanding a specific reaction. Practice performing the action for its own sake. Do your part, then release the outcome. Take immense pride in your effort, but do not drag the heavy chain of expectation behind you. Because true freedom begins the moment you stop waiting for the world to pay you back. You do not have to stop caring. You just have to stop keeping score. But untangling yourself from the outcome is one thing. Watching someone else receive exactly what you wanted is another entirely. And this is where the mind faces its sharpest, most painful illusion. 3. Separating your worth from their win. What if someone else's success has absolutely nothing to do with your failure? Here is a quiet, painful truth. We rarely just watch someone else succeed. We use their success as a mirror to magnify our own perceived failures. When that other person's name is called, when they step into the position you worked so hard for, a dangerous calculation happens in the mind. The ego instantly creates a scale. It whispers that if they are worthy, you must be unworthy. If they are moving forward, you must be falling behind. We mistakenly believe that success is a finite resource, a single cup of water in a vast desert, and if they drink, you must go thirsty. Buddhism reminds us that this mindset is a profound illusion created by the ego. The ego survives on comparison. It draws sharp, hard lines between you and everyone else, demanding to know who is higher, who is better, and who is more deserving. But Buddhist wisdom teaches the infinite nature of human potential. A victory for one is not a subtraction from another. When you attach your own personal value to the absence of someone else's success, you trap yourself in a narrow cage of your own making. Imagine a vast night sky filled with stars. When one star burns brightly, it does not steal the light from the star next to it. It does not drain the energy from the dark expanse to make itself seen. The sky is endless, easily holding the light of a million stars simultaneously. If a passing cloud temporarily covers one star while another shines, the covered star has not lost its fire. It has not failed. It is simply experiencing a different moment in the turning wheel of the night. Yet, in our modern lives, we act as if the sky is shrinking. We sit in offices, scroll through our phones, or listen to peers praise someone else, and we suddenly feel small. We allow the specific timing of another person's journey to completely erase the dignity of our own. We forget that we are not running on the same track. We forget that the person who received the opportunity is operating under a completely different set of conditions, carrying their own hidden burdens and silent battles. Their open door is not your locked gate. Ask yourself, does their light actually cast a shadow on you, or are you choosing to stand in the dark? When you look at their achievement, is this thought bringing you peace, or is it merely feeding your fear of being left behind? Think about your own life. How much precious energy have you wasted trying to measure your quiet progress against their very loud victory? Pause, breathe, observe the heavy thought of comparison without following it. Notice the feeling of inadequacy when it rises, but do not make it your identity. You do not need to measure your depth by someone else's surface. You are not powerless. You do not have to diminish yourself just because someone else is being celebrated. Let that sink in. Because true peace is not found in being ahead of the person next to you. It is found in walking your own path, so deeply that you no longer need to look sideways. But if we do not learn to untangle our self-worth from the victories of others, a dark, heavy emotion begins to take root in the mind. And this is where the next truth begins. 4. The poison of hidden resentment. What if the anger you feel toward an unfair situation is actually doing more damage to you than the situation itself? Here is a truth that requires deep, sometimes painful honesty. When we are overlooked, the initial sting of disappointment is entirely natural. But if we are not careful, that disappointment slowly ferments in the dark. It turns into resentment. You may smile outwardly. You may offer the polite words of congratulations. But inside, a quiet, heavy bitterness begins to take root. You start collecting evidence of the world's unfairness. You replay the moments you were ignored, polishing the memory until it is sharp. You begin to view the person who succeeded not as a fellow human being, but as a symbol of your personal defeat. Without even realizing it, you start pulling back your energy, punishing the world by shrinking yourself. Buddhist wisdom is profoundly clear about the destructive nature of resentment. There is an ancient truth that holding on to anger is like picking up a burning coal, with the intention of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. Or, as it is often said, it is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to perish. When you harbor deep, silent resentment, you are not punishing the people who overlooked you. They are living their lives, completely unaware of the fire in your chest. You are only punishing yourself. You are actively choosing to suffer twice, first when the event happened, and then 1,000 times over in your own mind. Imagine a clear, fast-moving river. The water is pure, easily flowing around rocks and roots, full of life and energy. But one day, a storm knocks a heavy, rotting log into the water. Instead of letting the gentle force of the water push the log downstream, the river decides to hold on to it. It builds a thick dam of mud and stones around the wood. Soon, the water stops flowing entirely. It becomes stagnant, dark, and clouded. The river has completely lost its natural vitality, not simply because the log fell, but because it stubbornly refused to let it wash away. In your daily life, resentment is that rotting log. You bring it into your workplace, making the air around you heavy. You carry it into your home. It sits quietly beside you in the moments before you sleep. You start performing your tasks with a heavy, cynical heart. You withdraw your creativity and your passion believing that if you were not rewarded, you should no longer try. You stop being the vibrant, dedicated person you are, all because you are fiercely guarding an old injury. You think you are protecting a boundary, but in reality, you are suffocating your own spirit. Ask yourself, is this bitterness actually changing the past, or is it only destroying your present? Think about your own life. Who is really carrying the weight of this anger? Is it the person sitting in the position you wanted, or is it you dragging this heavy shadow wherever you go? Pause, breathe, observe the heat of this resentment without letting it burn you. Stop trying to hold the rotting wood. It is completely okay to admit that you were hurt, but you must realize that you are the only one holding the burning coal. You can put it down. You can let go of the bitterness, not because the situation was perfectly fair, and not because the other person deserves your forgiveness, but because your inner peace is far too valuable to be traded for a grudge. Because holding on to anger will only keep you trapped in the exact moment you were overlooked. To truly free yourself, you must be willing to look at the person who succeeded with entirely new eyes. And this is where the next truth begins. 5. The practice of sympathetic joy. What if the very thing that triggers your pain could become the exact medicine that heals it? When we watch someone else receive the opportunity we desperately wanted, our deepest human instinct is to look away. It hurts too much to watch them celebrate. We close our hearts. We distance ourselves. We convince our minds that if we ignore their happiness, we can somehow protect our own fragile peace. We begin to view their joy as a heavy mirror, reflecting only what we lack. And in doing so, we accidentally lock ourselves inside a very small, very cold emotional room. One of the deepest lessons of Buddhism offers a radical alternative to this isolation. It is the practice of sympathetic joy, the quiet, intentional act of finding happiness in the good fortune of others. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that joy is not a limited resource. It is not a prize that can be handed out until the universe is empty. When you learn to rejoice in someone else's success, you actively destroy the illusion of scarcity. You free yourself from the heavy chains of envy. Imagine a single candle burning quietly in a dark room. Now, imagine another unlit candle is brought close, and its wick catches the flame. Does the first candle lose any of its fire? Does its light diminish because it shared its heat? No. The original flame remains just as bright, but now the entire room contains more light. The darkness is pushed further away. The fire simply expanded. In the modern world, we often act as if lighting someone else's candle will inevitably leave us in the dark. We see a colleague promoted, a friend celebrated, or a peer recognized, and we instinctively cover our own flame. We feel threatened. We forget that when we celebrate the success of another person, we are not diminishing our own worth. We are expanding our own capacity for happiness. When you allow another person's achievement to inspire you, rather than defeat you, you shift your mindset from fear to openness. You train your mind to see that success is possible. You prove to yourself that the world is capable of giving, and that light still exists. Think about that. Ask yourself, what are you truly afraid will happen if you celebrate the person who succeeded? If you silently honor their victory, does it erase your hard work? Or does it simply free you from the exhausting burden of carrying envy? Is the tight, closed fist of jealousy bringing you peace, or is it just making your hand ache? Pause, breathe. The next time you feel the sharp sting of being overlooked, try a gentle internal shift. You do not have to force an outward celebration if you are still quietly hurting. But silently, within your own mind, say to them, I am glad for your joy. May you do well. Notice how the tightness in your chest begins to loosen. Let the feeling of envy rise and pass without making it your identity. You are not powerless. You can choose to let their light warm you. Because true peace is not found by guarding your heart against the success of the world. It is found by letting the joy of others remind you that good things are still possible. But finding joy for others does not mean you must abandon your own journey. Sometimes, the path you are truly meant to walk is only revealed when the path you wanted is blocked. And this is where the next truth begins. 6. The wisdom of the closed door. What if the door that refused to open was actually protecting you from a room you were never meant to enter? Here is a hard truth about human desire. When we want something deeply, our vision becomes incredibly narrow. We convince ourselves that there is only one specific path to our happiness. We believe there is one exact opportunity that will prove our worth, one specific title that will finally make us feel secure. When we are overlooked, we do not just feel disappointed. We feel abandoned by life itself. We stand at the closed door, rattling the handle, exhausting ourselves as we ask what we did wrong. We treat a temporary rejection as a permanent sentence of failure. We let a simple no consume our entire identity. In Buddhist thought, there is a deep emphasis on the concept of non-attachment and the wisdom of accepting what simply is. Life is a constant, flowing river. We suffer deeply when we try to force the water to travel in a straight, unnatural line. When we cling desperately to a single, fixed outcome, we blind ourselves to the reality of the present moment. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that a blocked path is not a personal punishment. It is simply a reality. To accept it means looking at the boundary without violently demanding that the universe change to suit your personal desires. Imagine a tired traveler walking through a vast, dense forest. They are following an old, rigid map that promises a grand resting place at the end of a specific trail. After days of hard walking, they arrive, only to find a massive, unyielding stone wall blocking the entrance. The traveler throws themselves against the stone. They push, they cry, and they exhaust their body trying to move an impossible weight because their eyes are so fiercely locked onto the stone, they never look over their shoulder. They never notice that just a few steps away, the forest opens up to a gentle river leading toward a sunlit valley that their old map knew absolutely nothing about. In our modern lives, we are often that exhausted traveler. You might be staring at the heavy stone wall of a lost promotion, a rejected application, or a missed creative opportunity. You sit in your room, replaying the rejection over and over, feeling completely stuck and invisible. You feel as though you are falling completely behind in life, but you are ignoring the quiet possibility that this closed door is a natural redirection. Perhaps the environment you wanted so badly would have ultimately suffocated your spirit. Perhaps life is forcing you to pause, to pivot, or to build something entirely your own. Think about your own life. What closed door are you still quietly mourning? How much of your precious mental energy are you wasting by staring at an opportunity that has already been given to someone else? Ask yourself, is this obsession bringing you closer to peace, or is it merely feeding your fear that you have nowhere else to go? Pause, breathe. Stop trying to force the door open. Do not let this single moment of rejection harden your heart. Let the feeling of loss rise without making it the final chapter of your story. Let that sink in. You are not powerless. You do not have to chase what is already leaving. Because true peace is not found by breaking down the doors of the world to prove you are worthy of entering. It is found by trusting the path that softly remains open. But to walk that new path freely, you must change your fundamental relationship with the effort itself. And this is where the next truth begins. 7. Doing the work for the work itself. What if the true reward for your hard effort was never the applause, but the person you became while doing it? Here is a quiet tragedy that often takes place when we are overlooked. We let the rejection steal our passion. We decide that if our dedication is not going to be properly recognized or rewarded, it is no longer worth giving. We begin to pull back. We show up with a heavy, resentful heart, viewing our daily tasks as meaningless burdens. We mistakenly tie the inherent value of our effort to the external validation of our peers or superiors. When the praise vanishes, our drive completely collapses. We become a shadow of our former selves, going through the motions, secretly punishing the world by refusing to shine. Buddhism reminds us of a powerful shift in how we approach our actions. It is the deep practice of mindfulness and right effort. In Buddhist thought, the highest form of action is performed with complete presence, entirely free from grasping at a future reward. When a monk sweeps the stone steps of a temple, he does not sweep to impress the master. He simply sweeps. The action itself becomes the meditation. By detaching your self-worth from the final outcome, you reclaim the profound joy of the process. You realize that the work was never just about the prize. It was about your presence within it. Imagine a devoted craftsman sitting alone in a quiet room, carefully carving a piece of rich, heavy wood. He works deeply into the night, completely absorbed in the texture of the grain, the movement of his hands, and the slow reveal of the shape. He is not carving to win a grand prize, nor is he waiting for a crowd to gather and applaud his skill. If the carving is never placed on a grand pedestal, the craftsman does not feel robbed. The joy was not found in the exhibition. The joy was found in the pure, uninterrupted act of bringing something beautiful into existence. In the modern world, your daily effort is your craft. Whether you are managing a complex project, helping a difficult client, creating art, or quietly holding your family together through a heavy storm, you are shaping the wood. When you perform these actions exclusively to hear someone call your name, you give away your inner power. You allow a supervisor, a peer, or a profoundly flawed system to dictate your internal satisfaction. But when you anchor yourself in the quiet dignity of the effort itself, you become completely untouchable. No one can steal the integrity of a job done with absolute, loving care. Think about your own life. Have you let the silence of others drain the energy from your hands? Are you working strictly for the eyes of the world, or are you working to honor your own internal standard? What would happen if you let go of the desperate need to be noticed and simply fell in love with the work again? Pause. Breathe. Return your attention to the exact task in front of you. Observe the heavy feeling of wanting validation and gently let it pass. Do your work beautifully. Do it quietly. Do it simply because it is yours to do. Let the effort be the reward. Because true freedom is found the moment you stop needing the world to validate your existence. You do not need an audience to be whole. But embracing this quiet work is only a piece of the journey. The deepest healing happens when you finally stop fighting the reality of where you currently stand. And this is where the final truth begins. 8. Letting life meet you where you are. Think back to that quiet, heavy moment when you first realized you had been overlooked. The silence that filled the room. The sudden, invisible ache of feeling unseen after pouring so much of your spirit into your effort. You started this journey feeling small, believing that because another person stepped into the light, you had been permanently pushed into the dark. You felt the sharp sting of rejection and the exhausting urge to calculate your worth against someone else's victory. But look at the heavy armor you are now able to put down. You have seen the illusion of demanding expected rewards from an unpredictable world. You have recognized the deep poison of hidden resentment and the quiet exhaustion that comes from comparing your complex journey to the visible success of another. You have learned that finding genuine joy in their victory does not diminish your own value. It actually expands your heart. It makes you larger, not smaller. In Buddhist thought, the ultimate goal is not to force the universe to hand you everything you desire. The true goal is to cultivate a state of deep, unshakable peace that remains entirely undisturbed by the changing winds of gain and loss, praise and blame. This is the profound beauty of non-attachment. It is the quiet, powerful understanding that your worth is not a fragile object waiting on a desk for someone's approval. It is a deep, inherent truth that exists entirely within you. Letting go is not giving up. It is the ultimate act of self-respect. Imagine a wide, ancient river flowing steadily toward the vast ocean. Along the way, it encounters heavy boulders, fallen trees, and sharp bends. When the river meets a completely blocked path, it does not stop and violently strike the stone. It does not feel insecure because the water in a neighboring stream is moving faster. It simply gathers its quiet strength, gently finds a new way around the obstacle, and continues its journey. Its only purpose is to flow. It deeply trusts the movement. It trusts that, eventually, it will reach the boundless sea. In your own life, you are that river. You have hit a heavy stone. You have faced a closed door. But you do not have to stop flowing. You do not have to dry up in bitterness or shrink your beautiful potential just because the path looks different than the exact route you drew on your map. You can continue to grow. You can continue to pour your heart into your daily craft, trusting that the right doors will open precisely when you are truly meant to walk through them. Ask yourself one final time. Are you ready to drop the heavy, invisible scale? Are you willing to stop waiting for the world to applaud your effort and instead honor it yourself? Pause, breathe, feel the solid ground beneath you. You are right here, exactly where you need to be. No effort was truly wasted. No time was lost. You are simply stepping into a new space, entirely free from the heavy chain of how you thought things were supposed to be. If these lessons touched your heart, share this video with someone who may need a little more peace today. Let life meet you where you are.